What do we do with Jo Adell? Let's talk about that and some pitcher ads next on Fantasy Baseball Today in 5. Welcome into FBT in 5. As always, make sure to follow and stream us on Spotify. Today is Tuesday, April 12th. I am Frank Stanfield, joined by Scott White. And the roller coaster that is Jo Adell continued on Monday. He was originally not in the Angels lineup. Mike Trout was scratched. Jo Adell gets added. Next thing you know, 2 hits, including a 430-foot home run. Scott, what do we do with Jo Adell?
Well, I'd like to hold on to him. I understand that in shallower leagues, ones where, let's say, fewer than 300 players are rostered, would certainly be a 3 outfielder league in that case. You may not be able to. You may have to. You have to be judgmental about your roster space, obviously, and there may be somebody who demands it more at the moment. But Jo Adell, in a game he wasn't supposed to start, ended up doing the sort of thing that, if anything's going to earn him more playing time, it's performing, right? Home runs and doubles when he does get the opportunity. So, I'm hopeful that over time he'll win his way into the lineup with an everyday role. If he does, I think the upside is considerable, even for 3 outfielder leagues. So I'd like to hold on to him wherever possible. But, sometimes you just have to consider, is this the sort of player that I need to protect, knowing how shallow my league is? And, I could certainly see a case for dropping Adell in such a format.
Let's go from one outfielder to a few others. Steven Kwan with another strong performance on Monday, 1 for 3 with a triple, 3 RBI, 2 walks, and 2 runs scored. 49% rostered on CBS. Connor Joe goes 2 for 5 with his second home run. Still just 38% rostered on CBS. Scott, both of those numbers just need to be higher. We need to get Kwan and Connor Joe on more rosters.
Yeah, and those are 2 players, given their exemplary plate discipline in a points league specifically. I could see dropping Adell for either one of them. I think Joe and Kwan are both must-own in the format where they are going to be of the most use. But even in roto leagues, I'm not saying you necessarily drop Adell for them. I think maybe in Connor Joe there's a good case for it, because the upside he's going to give you in his home games at least might be enough to justify it. But yeah, you have to weigh whether or not you think you're in the kind of league where Adell's going to get scooped up right away if you drop them, because now is your chance to get Kwan and Joe. And there may not be, if they end up having the full breakthrough that makes them integral part of fantasy lineups, there may not be another chance.
All right, let's rank some starting pitcher ads from Monday. Jameson Taillon was at home against the Blue Jays, 5 innings, 2 runs, 6 strikeouts to 0 walks, 17 swinging strikes in this start. Nick Martinez making his Padres debut. He was at the Giants, 5 innings of 1-run balls, 6 strikeouts to 1 walk. He's only 15% rostered on CBS. Michael Lorenzen making his debut for the Angels. He was at home against the Marlins, 6 innings of 1-run balls, 7 strikeouts to 0 walks, only 5% rostered. Scott, how do you rank Taillon, Martinez, and Michael Lorenzen?
So all 3 have the sort of track record where it's going to take more than one start for me to really buy into them. But obviously there are certain leagues out there where any pitcher who shows potential on the waiver wire needs to be scooped up. Nick Martinez was a guy I was already warming up to, just based on how he looked this spring. Obviously, kind of remade himself in Japan and earned the trust of the Padres with a 4-year deal. And I like that his 13 whiffs on 83 pitches is divided between 3 different ones: 3 on the fastball, 4 on the cutter, 5 on the changeup, 3 swing and miss offerings there potentially for Nick Martinez. So he would be my first choice. But Lorenzen's interesting too. Lorenzen has 6 pitches and obviously didn't get a chance to utilize them all to maximum effect in a bullpen role previously in his career. So he may actually have more upside as a starter. He would be my second choice. I love all the whiffs Taillon got against a loaded Blue Jays lineup, but I'm not sure what's changed for him from a year ago when he wasn't getting so many whiffs, right? I mean, maybe he's just more comfortable in the delivery. He first adapted last year, but I need to see more from Taillon.
Scott, I just want to wrap up by showing some deep league love for Jorge Mateo of the Baltimore Orioles, 1 for 3 with a walk and his second stolen base. He's only 16% rostered. I think he needs to be rostered in any roto league where you have a middle infielder in your lineup.
I agree. I'm not even sure it's just deep leagues because he's going to be somebody who plays every day for the Orioles as their shortstop. He's also outfield eligible, at least in CBS leagues. And the speed's legit. I mean, he could be as much as a 30 steal guy if he's a good enough hitter to remain in the lineup all season long. And he had a good spring so far. He's done a good job getting on base. I think Jorge Mateo deserves a lot more love.
All right. For more extensive fantasy baseball coverage, listen to the Fantasy Baseball Today podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Stitcher, your smart speakers, or anywhere else podcasts are found. And thanks for listening to Fantasy Baseball Today in 5. We'll be back again tomorrow morning. Bye-bye.